Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted, with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Hi, Abir Chermiti. Welcome to Savvy Broadcasting, Life Unscripted. I'm so grateful to have you here this wonderful Sunday. I'm so grateful you can come on out. You're in the midst of doing some speaking, but you were able to come on out this wonderful Sunday and chat with us about your system formula, a blueprint for launching and scaling a business. And we just chatted before we hit the go button about how many women as a business owner don't really reach their fullest potential and what stops them. And you're going to help break that gap so that women can reach their fullest potential, create a fabulous business. But before we go there, I'd love for you to share with our audience just a tad about your background, what brought you to where you are today.
Awesome, Christina. Let me start first of all by thanking you for giving me the opportunity to be on your podcast, this amazing opportunity. Again, you pronounced my name perfectly. So my name is Abir Chermiti. I'm a techpreneur. My background, I started in tech and I transitioned into business. So it's pretty interesting and not common background to have. A lot, as you mentioned, a lot of women. And we're going to talk a lot about it like more later on. So I started in tech as a software engineer. And during pandemic, I found myself like so many people stuck in the house, not knowing what to do. I lost my job back then. So I decided to start my own podcast and then starting my own business, Elle Media Empire. It's a way for me to bridge the gap between tech and entrepreneurship. And not just that, also for women, help more women, because I started with the podcast. I did my first season. So, and all the common stories, it's our women, they are now at a stage they are successful, but the stars is very like common. Like all of us, we were stuck. We didn't know how to start, and we didn't know who to ask help from, but eventually we figured it out. So, like building Elle Media Empire, and Elle stands for she. It's the French.
Yeah.
That's the French in me.
Like the magazine.
Yeah, like Elle magazine. So I started Elle because I'm North African. I'm from Tunisia, and French is a very common language that we speak. I speak Arabic, French, and English. So I wanted to bring my background with me and also make it familiar to my audience and the people from back home. And that's why you see Elle Media Empire, Elle Pod in all my brands. So that's my way of bridging the gap and helping females get into tech. Because when I started into tech as a software engineer, I didn't see a lot of women like me. I didn't see a lot of women like me from the classroom as a student to the workplace. So I always observe and see that, and unfortunately I don't see a lot of people doing something about it. So it's kind of took it on me as a mission that I'm going to be the one doing that. And eventually when someone raised their hand and they start doing it, a lot of people, they will join. And I was fortunate that I have people who listen, and the people in my network, they listen and they support. And I was able to build community that supports female to get into tech, into STEM in general, and now business. And now, like with my transition to business, I wanted to take that mission further to business. So I call myself, I'm a techpreneur. I'm a tech expert and a full-time entrepreneur. I've been doing that for 2 years, and today I will be happy to share my new book with you.
Well, before we go there, I'd love for us to just backtrack a little bit, because I find that the last 2 years has actually for many been a blessing in disguise. We often hear the negative of the past 2 years with lockdowns and whatever. But I found it was a great pause reset for many people. If they were in a job, maybe they got let go, or maybe they just felt unfulfilled, and they finally had that time to pause and say, what next? Am I going to do this in the next 30 odd years in a place I'm not too happy at? And what could I do to further explore my talents and gifts? And so I love that you mentioned that. I actually worked for a tech company for many years. They were great. But one of the questions at one of our corporate meetings, they said to the HR person on the stage, talking about the last quarter and how things were going with talent. And someone said, when are we going to get more women tech? And she's like, well, if they'd apply, we'd hire them. But we get almost no one coming in to apply for the tech position. 99% were men. So I love that you're talking about getting women involved and bringing them to STEM. Why do you think women kind of shy away from tech so much?
That's a great question. And you brought up a really good topic in here that I talk a lot about it. And also, I was speaking at a conference, it's a tech conference. And honestly, in the speaker rooms, there was only 3 females among almost 32 speakers. So it still exists. And that was one of the topics that we were talking about it this weekend. So yes, pandemic was a reset for the whole world. Let's all agree. It was a reset. It was a curse and a blessing as well. And for me personally, it was a blessing to push as a female, as a woman. It pushed me because seeing a lot of people losing a lot of close family and friends. So we all realize what worse can happen.
Yeah.
If I don't do it now, when can I do it, right? So we all came to that realization in all aspects of life, and business and tech was one of the biggest industries that they were touched about by the pandemic's effects. So to go back to your question, why women, they are not they are not used to be like that, I would say, because it's kind of shifting and changing. After the pandemic. Still, we didn't get there, but I think it's the way we were raised. Let's go back to the origin. The way we were raised, women, they were not asked to give an opinion. I grew up in a household, it's not like I was not asked, but I think some conversations are not, we don't have those conversations about career and growth and what you want to do. And so that goes back to the origins of how were women involved in the first place when they were kids. One of the role model that inspires me a lot, Reshma Sojani, she's the founder of Girls Who Code, and her beginning and how she started Girls Who Code is very inspiring, because she talks about it a lot of time, why we give girls Barbies to play with, why we give the boys those fighter and Star Trek and those it's from it's in the subconscious things that we do.
And I don't think parents or people even think about it. You know, I started taking flying lessons in my early 30s. And when I came to my mom and said, I'm really scared of flying, I'm going to conquer this and I'm going to take flying lessons, my mom said, take your brother with you. He'd be more successful at that sort of thing. And my brother was 16, 17. He was still living at home. But I thought that was funny. I'm like, I'm 32. Why would he be more successful than me in doing? But it's a cultural understanding that, oh, he's a boy. He'd be better at the flying thing than you.
That's true. And women were taught to sit and wait for the opportunity to be called, right?
And be nice. Don't ask for too much.
Don't ask for too much. Just sit and be cute and be nice and wait for your turn, right? But while guys or men or boys, they are, I think, because they are taught they are the ones to be responsible for everything. They are taught to be the ones who bring the money to the household. So they have to be the go-getter. While the woman, she had to be the sit and wait person, right? Which is changing now, and we breaking the stereotype, because we notice it takes two people, two counterpart for the word to work. It takes day and night for the universe to function. So it takes a man and woman for us to be successful, as a community or as a humanity. And women are a great species. Women have the skill set that men, they might not have. Women are responsible. Women are great managers. If they get to manage the household and the job and everything in between, they should be in leadership position making decisions. Because they are already in a small parts, they doing that eventually. It's just we're not giving them the opportunity. And I feel we all getting to a realization after, especially after pandemic, that I'm not gonna sit and wait. I'm gonna go and get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that that's changing people's perspective because each, I don't think one's more better than another, one sex or whatever. I find that men have and every individual has their own individual talents. And it's great for people to go and explore those without the limitations of, well, this is not what girls do or guys do, whatever. But now tell me, you've created your book, The System Formula, to help women kind of bridge that gap and launch and scale their businesses. Because here's one thing. People think I have this talent and I'm going to start a business, but they're not thinking long-term. Launching, getting out of the door is hard enough, but then scaling it to the point where you're successful and maybe one day exiting is something most business owners don't even think about.
Absolutely. And actually, from statistics, a lot, like 80% of businesses, like ideas fail. Why? Because people, they get the motivation. Oh, this cool idea, I want to do it. They start, but they don't know where to go after that. Yeah. Let's say if I wanted to write a book, okay, I have the idea, but how?
Yeah, and not only writing the book, boom, there's the book, then you got to launch it, you got to market it, you got to get it out there.
Yeah,
you can have the book written, hiding in the back corner, but now you've got to get it out there, and that's a whole other mess of skills and talents.
Yeah, and so I want to take you to the background of the book, the System Formula, and how I wrote it. And it was very interesting because even I transitioned to business, I feel like my skill set in tech and my career in tech, like when you are a software engineer, it's hard to be accepted as a business person. I don't know where this stereotype comes from, but software engineers are problem solver, like already. So they should be like, they can be doing business as well. So I found it hard for me, that transition into business. So, and I get called a lot because of my I think my technical background longer in a way doing business, because I've been doing tech and working in tech for almost 10 years. So I was called to be a speaker at a conference, and they asked me to talk about systems, right? One of my clients, he had his first conference. So, and because I was helping him set up his systems in like tech perspective. So he was like, Abir, I really feel like a lot of people, they don't understand what system, like what it takes to build a sustainable tech systems and implement all these systems and tools. So I would love for you to come and speak about that. And I was like, absolutely. So when I walked in, I was observing the crowd, right? And it was kind of last minute. So I didn't have my deck ready, my presentation. But so I was observing the crowd so I can, think of what I can talk about. And most of the crowd, it was mixed. It was people who are looking for inspiration, motivation to do that jump, right? And get started. There were some people who are business owner who are at a stage, okay, I started my digital course, but okay, I recorded the course, but I don't know what to do now. Like, I don't know about marketing. I don't know how promote it. So there was like different, and it's all of them, they kind of touched my system, like my system formula in the book. So I was like, I literally went in the bathroom. I guess that was the quietest place to think. I was like, okay, this is a mix, and I wanted everyone to go home with something. I didn't want to talk about just tech, because if you don't know like what your business needs, talking about tech kind of it's not the conversation to have at the first place, right? If you don't have the clarity at first, technology, it's going to be hard for you. Okay, I'm going to opt into this software subscription, but how I'm going to use it, right? You need to understand first your business.
How you can implement it. Yes.
How you're going to implement it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give them a formula that everyone will need and they will take home. So I will take them from 0 to 100, like from the start to the scaling. And that's how I came, because the title of my title was System Expert. So they were expecting me to talk about system as a technology. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give them what they came for. I'm going to give them the system formula. And Like I didn't write anything. I only wrote the note. I came up with the terminology of the system formula in 6 components. So I thought of like, okay, that people want to have a system. So let me give them a system that will work for everyone. And based on my experience from the tech industry to the business, that will work for them, like from startup to scaling. So the system formula is I made it as a terminology of 6 components. So each letter of the word means something. So we'll start with the S, right? So the S is strategy. So every system needs a strategy, right? And when you think of a system as a tech component, you need a strategy, you need a roadmap. And when you are building your business, system without strategy is not going to work. And strategy without system also to execute that strategy is not going to work. So I found that the first element and the most important element is a strategy. And also, like, I'm a certified business strategist from Harvard. And so I studied when I went to Harvard, I studied so many businesses and their strategies like Nike, Adidas, Starbucks, Amazon, and the strategies that they use. So in the book, I mentioned the 4 P's of strategy. There is like 4 types of strategy, and each strategy will define the system in your business. And like coming from the mission, the vision, the systems, like the KPI and all that. So it's like literally you have to write down the roadmap for your business. It's not just a business plan. It's not like, hey, I'm starting a business, let me go write a business plan. Business plan is a very tiny element of it. But the whole roadmap, how you envision your business.
It's getting a clear vision. Because you can't pass it on to whom you might hire or even have a clear picture of what direction you're taking until you have that all laid out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like laying a foundation before you start building a house.
Yeah. So it's like a roadmap from A to B and with all the stops. And might be like the obstacle they might encounter. It's a hill, downhill, all that. So you have to think of these and write them down. Writing all these down is very important. The second element of this system is a why. And as it says, it's a why. So you need to know your why, your purpose. And have you read the book of Simon Sinek, Start With Why? Yes. Okay. So I mentioned that, I refer to that book a lot because I think in all our aspects of life, we have to start with why. Why we do the things that we do, right? And the same thing, that's an extension. Business is an extension of it. Why we are in this business. I'm in the business of changing business perspectives. I'm in the business of building other people's businesses. So that's my mission. I'm in the business of making technology more accessible for people, for women, and pushing more women to get started. So you need to like know your why. And studying the book of Simon Sinek, like he mentioned something it's a fact: the golden circle, the why, the what, and the how, right? So all, like most of the businesses, or let's say 99%, they know the what. The what is the product, the service. Okay, I'm gonna start a business. I'm selling books. So the what is a book. It's a digital course. It's a software, app, something. That's easy to define. The how is kind of, I would say 60 to 70% of the people or the businesses, they figure out how. By hiring someone, by finding someone, like doing research, doing their market research. But the why, but the why, we only have like few businesses understand why they do it. And once you master your why, you kind of unlock the formula to successful business. I'm going to move to the next one, which is the S. The S represents a skill. So the skill, a lot of people focus on the business, on branding it, the logo, make it look nice. But actually, are you good enough to call yourself an expert?
Yeah, that's true.
Like skill.
And if you're not like worrying about your business cards and your website, hire someone to do that. You're not an expert. Don't waste your time on that.
Absolutely. Because people come to you as an expert, and you have to always craft your skill to be that, especially in a tech and business world where everything is growing so fast. You have to keep up with tech. You have to keep up with all these things. So you have to be always learning. I'm always on the blogs, like learning about all this, the new trends of AI, new trends of technology. So when my clients and customers come to me and ask me about that question, they expect me to be the expert to answer that. They're not going to expect me to tell them like, oh, my logo or my business look nice. No, they expect me to answer their question, and that gives them the security and the satisfaction that I am the right person for them. Yes. The next one is technology, which is really important. Like especially in this age, new era of technology plays a big role, a huge role in every business, and especially after pandemic. Technology is what shifted the way we do things, right? Every businesses are now they have to have online presence. So saying I have a pet peeve, which is the word tech savvy. When someone calls themselves, oh, I'm not a tech savvy. No, you shouldn't be saying that. That's kind of mental block you put for yourself, saying I'm not a tech savvy. Nobody is expecting you to go and learn how to code, right, as a business owner. But you are expected to be adaptable to technologies. Adapt yourself to technology. Acknowledge that the AI is coming. Acknowledge that we live in a different age where technology is dominating everything, and you have to adapt.
And it's a great tool that really can be a time saver if you,
yeah. It's a great tool. A lot of businesses like technology helped them thrive during pandemic. The next thing is engagement. That's we tapping into marketing, right? You need to engage with people. You can't create a product. I can't create a book and sit here and people will come to my house and buy it. No, I have to create channel of distribution. I have to do marketing campaigns. I have to go to them. I have to meet my customers where they are. And that's how you think about it. Don't put yourself on top of everyone and say, oh, well, I have the best solution. Come and buy it. No, nobody can come, because you are competing with a big market and everyone is doing what you're doing. So you have to nurture and get to your community and build community. I really push a lot about building community, because that's important. It's not just selling product, but making people feel that they belong.
And so relationships. I think what confuses new business owners, they want that instant, hey, I want to be out there. I want people buying, but it's not instant. You have to build community, which is going to take time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it takes time. Absolutely. The last thing you tapped into it, which is the N, right? Managing. Yeah. When you are you set all your processes, you set everything, now you have to manage, you have to hire people. You can't be doing everything. You are the expert in what you do, but you are not expert in everything that your business need. Knowing a lot about it, that's good. Like myself, I know a lot about business and tech because of my experiences, but I'm not gonna sit and code every day. I have my team of engineers. I know I have the expertise, so I know how to manage them. So I know how to review their codes and all that, but I don't need to jump in and code every single time. The same thing, I have knowledge about marketing, so I know that I am going to the right direction. That's good, me being a tech savvy or a business savvy, but you cannot do it all. At some point, you get consumed when you are doing everything in your business, so you are not able to see the gaps. Yeah. You should be able to see your business from a top view, so you can see every gap in every all these 6 components. Yes. Okay, where am I missing? What am I missing in here? Is the marketing is not working? Is my campaign are not working? Is my branding is not matching? Is my message in my marketing is not matching too? So you have to take yourself outside of the business sometimes and have that top view so you can notice. And you have people to manage. You have to delegate. You have to free your time. If you are looking to scale and adapt and scale, you have to manage people. You have to hire people and let them do what they know best, what they do best, and you do what you do best, which is running a business, being a CEO. So that's the system formula, 6 component, and it's more details are in the book. So the book is available in English and also in Arabic.
Also, where can they get a copy?
So it's on my website, The System Formula, thesystemformula.com, and also available on Amazon. If you want to get the online, the ebook version, it's on my website, with English and Arabic, thesystemformula.com, and on Amazon, and I think it's in Barnes and Noble and different other stores, but mainly on Amazon.
Yeah. And you made such a great point because often I think one of the hardest part for business owners, especially new ones getting started, is the delegation part. I had a friend who now has been in business 11 years. God bless her. She's really kicked it out of the bucket. But she said year 5 is when she realized if I did not let go of certain processes and let other people handle them, we were going to be buried. I needed to let go.
It's a lot of time consuming. It consumes a lot of time, and it takes away the time that you should be focusing, because as a CEO, you are mostly the visionary, right? You are the one who have the vision of where the company needs, because you are the one who wrote the strategy. So you have that vision and you have to keep working on that vision. If you stop to keep doing the tech stuff, Q&A, maybe there are some issues and solving issues. No, it's like you are in a cycle and you're not getting out of it.
Exactly. Well, I want everyone to go out there today, get a copy of the system formula so you can scale your business, build your business and yourself to the fullest potential. Because as we know, building a business is often an inside job. It grows you as a person as well as your business. So I just have to thank you, Abir, again for coming to share your great wisdom today on Savvy Broadcasting.
Oh, thank you, Christina. Thank you very much.
You betcha.
Like, subscribe, and share this episode. To listen to more savvy episodes and savvy biz tips, go to www.lifeunscriptedradio.com. To find out about our paid sponsorship opportunities or how to become a guest, email Christina at lifeunscriptedradio.com.